Yo, welcome back to the British content channel. Today's video is on the laetum. It's a hybrid build. You can use a single fire mode or you can use it in Incarnon mode. I'm going to show some frame builds that work with it, and I've got some clips of me using it in level cap. The weapon is broken, so you might as well abuse it while it exists. Some guides I have planned. I've got VS Vault in duos, squads, whatever. And I've got DPS Vault in squads and duos. I have a guide for that planned. So yeah, subscribe and like if you want that type of stuff. It's going to take a while to make, obviously, because I have to find people to hunt with and get the correct clips and stuff like that. So yeah, just hold off, hold fire. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Alright, so of course the laetum, one of the new pistols from the Zaramon update. This thing is ridiculous. So the path I went with was the devouring attrition build. These ones don't really matter, but here's what I have anyway. And basically the whole idea of this, I'm doing a headshot build with devouring attrition, and I've got a corrosive heat build on with secondary deadhead. So the corrosive and heat basically strips armor if you use it in Incarnon mode, because it's such a rapid fire weapon. And the rest of this is pretty simple. Like, we have a Bane mod, just swap that out depending on what you play. And then this is all just like damage, multi-shot, status chance. It's gonna proc slash, heat, corrosive pretty easily. I prefer to play with the single fire mode because it's actually really fun, but the Incarnon mode is ridiculous as well, so you can swap between them depending on what you want. I'm running steady hands because I'm going for headshots. Now, one of the things that makes this weapon so overpowered is Zarta's Whisper. This is Zarku's helminth ability, and you can put this on any frame, like any frame you want, but I'm putting it on Ash Prime because Ash Prime has invisibility and armor strip in his kit, so it just makes sense. He's extremely easy to use as well. Please ignore Steel Charge. I'm just too lazy to former this anymore. I should just put another former on it, but I'm too lazy. You could put Pistol Amp there, or Holster Amp if you really want to. Any of these will give you just some giga damage when you shoot. I have Arcane Precision here because I'm playing with a pistol, and on headshot, I'm going to be going for headshots, so this thing will proc quite a lot. And then the rest of this build is mostly just enough strength to 100% armor strip, and then enough duration so that this build is bearable to play with. And then obviously rolling guard is just for like this shield gating, and then I have an auger mod just for shield gating as well. But because it's an invisible frame, you don't really need like epitaph with auger mods and stuff like that. And then I was just running the glaive for like generic enemy clearance. However, I understand not everybody wants to use Ash Prime, so here's some other frames that people use quite often. Revenant is a great example. Put Zarta's Whisper on Revenant, and his Mesmer Scheme keeps you alive. And yeah, replace his fourth ability when doing anything level cap related, because his fourth ability, the damage drops off like extremely quickly. So yeah, Zarku, obviously. I mean, Zarku is very good for anything endurance related. You can play Mag, because Mag is good fun to play anyway. One of my favorites. Obviously Volt, whatever you want to build, you can build it for endurance related stuff. So there's some of the fan favorites. If you are going to play something like Revenant that doesn't have armor strip, you can play Yunaru, and Caustic Strike is your second ability, which can 100% strip enemy armor, if that's something that interests you. Of course, when playing Revenant, you don't really need Vazarin, so you can just use Yunaru. While doing Disruption, there's one arcane that I suggest everybody use, and that's Magus Lockdown. So Magus Lockdown is on Void Sling, drops a mine that tethers up to 10 enemies, and pretty much this is what you'll see people using that stops the Demolists completely. So when you Void Sling next to them, it basically shuts them down for a few seconds. That allows you to get those easy headshots in, prime them, armor strip them, whatever you need to do. And they can be tethered up to 3 times before it stops working. It's not necessary, but once you start using this, you'll never go back. Alright, so I got my first key, and I'm going to show you how to use the laetum without any sort of priming. So obviously, of course, you want to cast Zarta's Whisper and find the Demolist. Okay, so we found the Demolist. All you want to do, get close and Void Sling into them, and they'll turn off. Armor strip them and headshot them, and as you can see, they die. Now, I assure you, this build does not require any priming, you know, viral stacks being applied, etc, etc. However, some of you might want to see big numbers, so I brought me a Cedo, and I'm going to use the disc on the Demolist to proc a bunch of status effects before I shoot them. And obviously that's just going to increase the damage even more. It's not necessary, but it's just a bit of fun sometimes to do it. And there you go. And that's all there is to it. It's that simple. I'm going to roll a couple of clips of one-shotting level cap demolists. Hope you guys enjoy. Have some fun in Disruption. And catch you guys in the next one.